Hey guys, Gojira 851 here, and we are going to be doing the Godzilla retrospective, finally. And we are going to be starting off with the very first film in the franchise, Gojira. Or, in America, Godzilla. And it was back in 1954, and was brought on by the tensions and war and nuclear conflict in between Japan and America. Also, it had some inspirations from the likes of King Kong and Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. And that's why we're in black and white for this first review. Okay, so the story starts off out at sea where a bunch of fishermen are doing their thing, and then the ocean starts to glow and the ship explodes. Rescue ship is sent out, and then that ship explodes. They have no idea what's going on. The Japanese have no idea what's going on. They think it's an underwater volcano erupting. So there's an island south of Japan called Odo Island that all tell of the tale of a giant monster named Gojira. And they would actually sacrifice people to Gojira and animals and stuff to, for the bounty of the sea. A long ancient tale. Well, then a huge storm kicks up on Odo Island, and this massive being emerges from the ocean, but it's too stormy. I can't really see it. Reporters are on the island at the time learning about their ways when this happens, and they go back to the mainland, bring back a lot of the islanders, and they tell the tale of what happened, saying that there's no way that this storm did the things that it did, turning over houses, everything coming down from a upward angle and smashing down. So a scientific expedition goes out to Odo Island, consisting of Dr. Yamane, his daughter, Emiko Yamane, Ogata, and a bunch of others. But mysteriously, there's a man who doesn't join them on the expedition, a patch-wearing man named Dr. Serizawa. So they all go to the island, and they see that there is radiation everywhere. Okay, there's trilobites found, and they were back from, the prehistoric ages, so, what are those doing there? All of a sudden you hear footsteps, massive footsteps. And in a shocking twist, everyone isn't running for cover, they're actually running towards where the footsteps are, thinking that they're going to see Gojira. And they do. Here's a look at when they first see him. Yeah, they used a hand puppet to show off this scene, and it's 1954, and I think the puppet looks great. The eyes are a little silly, but, I think it looks great. So pictures are taken, and testimonies are given back in the mainland. Pictures are shown and told about, that Godzilla is emitting hydrogen energy from the hydrogen bomb. Tensions start rising between the people, like, oh, let's go to the, public, tell everyone. Oh, but if we go to the public and tell everyone, then everything's going to go bad, and then we're going to be international incident. Arguing back and forth, and night falls. And Japanese military is sent out with depth charges to kill Godzilla. Don't know how they know where he is, because you don't really see any Geiger counters or anything. Then in the evening, Dr. Yamane is talking about how, Godzilla should be studied, and how it's foolish to kill him without learning everything they can about him. Then we hear the footsteps again. Godzilla emerges from the ocean and attacks Tokyo for the first time. And it is Very well shot, and it just looks gorgeous. However, Godzilla's only on land for a few minutes, and then turns around and leaves. Okay. So, scientists from all over the world are brought in, and they all deduce that electricity is the way to deal with Godzilla. So they erect huge towers around Tokyo Bay to give off thousands of volts of electricity to drive away Godzilla. And they play this music that it really gets you pumped. You see all the military going out and doing it. It's a really cool scene. And they get all the towers erected in pretty quick time. They're efficient. Then Godzilla returns. And they begin firing with machine guns. Not working. I don't think they're even hitting him. And he comes to the electrical towers. And everything seems like, oh, it's gonna work. And then this happens. I doubt something born in nuclear fire will be harmed by a couple electrical bolts. And Godzilla stomps through the city like the electrical fences weren't even there, and it is just kind of disturbing. This is where the film kind of takes a sci-fi turn to a horror movie, and Godzilla is just destroying everything. Everyone, is running for cover. Tanks are being destroyed. Godzilla shows off this incredible power. He breathes fire, showing how all these ships out at sea were explored, destroyed, and Godzilla is just destroying everything. This city is on fire. After probably a good 10-15 minutes, Godzilla destroying things. Excellent camera work, excellent puppeteering work, excellent suit acting work by Hayao Nakajima. And side note, reports are that he suffered heat stroke wearing this Godzilla suit, because apparently it was an extra 200 pounds he'd have to carry around. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard that he almost drowned in several scenes. I don't know if it's true. It's very possible wearing something this large, Anyway, back to the movie. Godzilla decides to leave, and he goes out to sea. And with a couple of jets shooting at him, and they're like, oh, we're driving away. But you're not hitting him. He's just leaving. He's going to leave either way, but, Then we cut to the next morning, and we see the devastation. Very reminiscent of when the bombs dropped over in Japan. And that's kind of the, allegory, I guess you could say, for this film. Is that it shows what devastation that nuclear energy can do, but they weren't allowed to immediately say it was nuclear energy because there's a heavy censorship of it, and that's how Godzilla was born. But anyway, back to the movie. Emiko is helping, the survivors, and we see the devastation. We see everyone is covered in radiation. We see lots of dead people and children mourning their fallen parents. I get you here. When Emiko speaks with Ogata, because in this film, they are secretly lovers. And Emiko is actually engaged to one Dr. Serizawa. And Emiko tells Ogata of something that Dr. Serizawa has created. He has created this device. When placed in the ocean, will actually destroy all of the oxygen, and thus... Well, have you ever heard of OxyClean? Yeah, the stuff Billy Mays came up with, or promoted. Yeah, it's kind of like what that does. Reduces everything to bones, and then reduces the bones to water then. Ogata goes to Dr. Serizawa's house to ask him about this. And Serizawa only told one person about this. Emiko. His, engaged, his betrothed. And she told Ogata. So there, Serizawa feels broken. And biggest thing is, another thing about the nuclear talk in this film is not wanting to let the bomb fall into the wrong hands. That's why he doesn't want the Oxygen Destroyer to be in the wrong hands. The two scuffle. Serizawa wins the scuffle, but, not really in a, WWE, UFC fight. They were going over it. And while Ogata is sitting down being taken care of by Emiko, he pleads with Serizawa another time, please, we need to use the bomb. And Serizawa's like, no. Then on the TV, a song plays. It's sung by a quartet of young people in Japan, all singing the song Prayer for Peace. For what happened with Godzilla, they don't want this ever to happen. The song is very powerful and very, moving. And with this song being played, they play the whole song, and you get to see shots of Serizawa, you get to see shots of the destroyed Tokyo actually, the destroyed Tokyo, when eventually he gives in and says, okay, this is the only time we are ever going to use the Oxygen Destroyer. He takes his notes and he burns them, so never used again. While Emiko weeps because she feels that she's betrayed a man who loved her, but she left him for another, and now he's giving up his everything. It's just, this guy's becoming an emotional wreck right in front of them. So it is decided that Serizawa is to deploy the bomb, because he doesn't trust anyone, or no one even knows how to use the Oxygen Destroyer correctly. But instead of going by himself, Ogata accompanies him. And the two go out on a boat with, Dr. Yamane, Emiko, and other reporters to find Godzilla and to deal with their problem. Go deep beneath the waves, and they start searching the caverns underneath the water, and they find Godzilla resting. The two come together, and they both give, the okay, there he is, let's deploy the bomb and get out of there. Serizawa agrees, and Ogata begins ascending, but Serizawa stays behind. Ogata pleading with Serizawa to come up, drop it and let's go. But Serizawa stays as Godzilla begins to stand, and then move towards the area where Serizawa is. Serizawa holds the Oxygen Destroyer like it's his own child, his own creation, looking at a creation of something that could be devastating as the Oxygen Destroyer, something created with a hydrogen bomb, Godzilla. It's like a meeting of two things of chaos together, something that can be and something that is. Serizawa drops the Oxygen Destroyer, and it begins to do its thing. Bubbles begin to rise, and we get to see Godzilla being affected by this. Godzilla is roaring in pain underwater as Ogata is yelling down to Serizawa's, communicator thing, saying, come on, you did it, let's go, come on, you're gonna die down there. Coming to peace with himself, or hopefully peace with himself, Serizawa says, take care of Emiko, goodbye. He cuts his lines, and Ogata and the rest pull up the line, and it's gone. They see that he clearly cut his line. Godzilla then rises from the sea, roars one more time, and sinks deep beneath the waves. As Godzilla's body comes to the bottom, it then turns to bones. Then the bones turn to water, and Godzilla is gone. Thus, back on board the ship, Dr. Yamane sits by himself, upset that his friend Dr. Serizawa is dead, but also he sees the destructive ability that these chemicals and these different forms of power have. And when's the next time something bad like this is going to happen? The film ends with everyone taking off their hats to the fallen Serizawa, and the film ends. Okay, So, that was Gojira. What did I think about the film? I don't know if you can tell by the sound of my voice while I'm saying this, but this was an excellent film. I saw this version of the film actually in the 2000s because all there was an American reboot or recut of this called Godzilla King of the Monsters, which we'll get into the next review. When I saw this film, it completely just changed how I looked at Godzilla completely. It's a tale of, a way to live. Don't things to do and things not to do. It has real problems, it has real emotion, it's a real feeling film. Yeah, I know, it's a guy in a rubber suit stomping on a couple of fake buildings. So what? It's the story that matters. And the story was awesome. Godzilla was awesome in it. The music by Akira Ifukube was awesome. The direction was awesome. The acting was awesome. So what do I give this film? Well, on a scale of that I said in the ground rules video, if not, then go back and take a look at that. I give this film an S. It's transcendent and it is perfect in my opinion. Yes, a couple of things looked a little silly by today's standards, but they look great for what standards were back then, and the story is what really makes this film perfect. Okay? That's an S. Alright guys, this is Gojira851 saying goodnight. See y'all next time with Godzilla King of the Monsters.